Alrighty then, mic check, mic check. Getting things started up here this morning. Get things all sorted. I am missing a few items here. All right, it is Mentorship Monday, so we're going to focus on the new folks. Bring your questions, all that kind of good stuff. Let's go. Welcome aboard, everyone.
What exactly is ALGOBOX, and why do our traders absolutely love it?
Michael Othrow. Are you ready? Let's get to it. Let's see. Let's go all the way out to see everything real quick while we get a few more items here. We still got about 15 minutes till the US Open. I've got full auto turned on here for the first bit here on the Enigma. I'll let the Enigma do the work here for a bit and get the pop out chat here going. Mike, Mr. Thompson says, first day. All right. Welcome aboard. Good to see it. Monday's a good day to get things rolling, especially after a Thanksgiving holiday. Because why not? You have much to be thankful for. Let's scroll this up here. All right. So let's look around the horn here. And we are going to get into what looks like a bit of a narrowed space here to start. So the highest time frame, that's this 89 up here. We're kind of going into an ascending wedge thing. Not that that matters as far as the shapes here. We are not traditionalists in that sense. However, we are definitely narrowing up. We're getting into that into the third there. Now, once it's completed, it could open things up. So for a day like today, I would imagine we kind of finish up that area, and then once it starts to open up, we'll be ready to take some more extended plays there. Bottom left here, we are currently sitting in neutral on the MACV Ultimate. So the nerd is saying we are currently neutral. No bias right now with the nerd, the NASDAQ, the ES, the RTY, and the Dow. That is the nerd. The four correlated instruments, and we're getting the bias from all four of those. And right now, they're split. Now, where did they come from? I like to look at the history of these. Overnight at 2:30 a.m., we touched red one time, and then have been to the buy side primarily. Yeah, I mean, I would say back and forth there because it was red before that, then it was green. So some back and forth right now, no established bias. It's a Monday morning. So let's walk around our 5 chart layout. And if you are new with us, you have a different layout than I've got here. I've got this set up for the live streams to kind of maximize what we can do here and trying to demonstrate things. But we have the tide, the wave, the primary filter, what we call the MACV. There's your 3. And then our 2 entry charts, big and small, on what we call the ripples. So if you are going through training there and you're wondering, okay, what about the tide, wave, and ripple scenario? So my ripple line kind of starts here to the left. That kind of got messy, didn't it? So these are going to be my 2 entry charts, and I'm reading from the higher time frames of these 3 charts over here. There's my 5 time frames. Yours are going to be laid out a little bit differently if you are doing the default installation. I kind of teach you first to learn how to read from left to right. So I have the tide, the wave, the filter in the center, and then you're going to the big or small on your 5 chart configurations. If you are installing our system for the first time, kind of coming out of the gate, you've got this configuration, which I do recommend. Again, I like to stick on this one. In reality, if I was on a standard layout, now one thing that gives me an advantage if you're on a 4K screen, the reason I also like this configuration is because of where the buttons lay. The buttons are going to be over here on the right hand side. Now if you're on a 1080p, then this is going to be all the way over here on the right hand side of the screen, and so you kind of have to tilt your head over to the right and you're playing over here. I like the buttons in the center. Usually when I'm trading with the 20 chart layout and I've got that 5 chart configuration that fits all in this area right here, then it does put the sets of buttons right here. If you kind of think that through, you'll understand, like, those buttons are like kind of right there, almost center, kind of like I have them here. And I like to focus on my buttons being right there in the middle. That's me kind of personally. So anyhow, if you guys got questions, today's the day to bring them. I will do demonstrations, show you guys things and all that kind of whatnot. And I'll also be out here trading as well. So yeah, let's get to it. We've got still about 5 minutes 30 seconds till the US Open. Let me look across the news area. So if you got your news indicator on your charts, I like to put mine over here on the wave chart. This up here, and let's take a peek at what's going on in the news. What time do I have to worry about things? Oh, this is one of those weird ones. 9:45. They slipped this one right in between the open and the 10 a.m. There's a 9:45. Help me with this one. I have gotten caught offsides on this one several times. Not really offsides, but I mean that caught off guard on the 9:45 scenarios where it's 15 minutes past the open. I'm sitting there looking for a reversal between the 9:40 and 9:50, and then all of a sudden here comes this final manufacturing PMI number that comes out. And yeah, so 9:45 and 10 a.m. So here in the morning here, we've got a steady pace of some news that might get things moving here for us this morning. 10 a.m., several things, 1, 2, and 3 items. One of those is a red star ISM manufacturing PMI. That is going to be an important one that can give us some movement, hopefully. We love movement here. More movement equals more opportunities. All right, we've come right up into the prior close. Let's zoom into the bottom left chart here now so we can start looking at our executions. Higher time frame really not giving us, oh, I should have mentioned this here. So on the filter, we are in the no fiddle zone here. So, you know, nothing really to write home about. We want to take our best plays outside of this kind of golden zone up here, down here. These are the areas we want to take some of our best plays. We're kind of sitting in that fiddle zone. Definitely want to avoid the flat zone. There, I've got my markings turned on when we are in the flat. Oh, that reminds me, it is Monday. I need to be on 3 days of data. Okay, cool. I've still got 3 days. Good deal. Other items. Let's make sure we turn off our real-time protection. We keep our PC running on its top. There we go. Turn off that real-time protection, just like a video gamer. Get all the horsepower out of your PC. You don't want your PC doing file scans while you are making plays.
DCDMNQ on the 2.
All right, 2 minutes from the open.
Upper bands touch EM on the 26. Double delta EM on the 1.
I want to take off some of these lines. All right, turn off draw horizontals.
Double delta RTY on the 4.
So 1 minute from market on open and from the Canadian manufacturing PMI.
Fib.EM on the 1.
All right, 30 seconds till the open.
Double delta EM on the 2.
Ten seconds.
All right, 10 seconds till the open.
Upper bands double delta EM on the 26.
52.
Double delta EM on the 26.
SP500, a buy side of 65 million.
Double delta EM on the 26.
22 million. Dow 30, a buy side of 25 million.
Upper bands
Mag
touch
7
EM on the
sell side of
26.
7 million.
Double delta EM on the 1.
Okay, something that's going on with my fiddle zone indicator here. That is not accurate. Let me press F5 here. I'm going to try to refresh my chart without... Okay, no, that is inaccurate. 1 second. I don't think I've got enough days of data here for this to be accurate.
EM on the 26.
Let me just add one more day of data. Not enough data for... Oh, it's because of the holiday. It's all the holiday stuff. I could probably have to add 5 days of data.
Upper bands touch EM on the 26. Speed of NQ 149. YM 337.
There we go.
Double bands double delta RTY on the 4.
All right, so I like to sit when this stuff starts going wild like this. I like to sit on hands for the first 5 minutes, let the tools kind of do the work here, unless something just is an absolute perfect play. I do see a lot of ready ups coming up in here, so I do think that we could get a reversal potential Titanic zone here. I'm going to draw this in and look at a potential Titanic zone here.
DCDM EM on the 1, upper bands touch EM on the 26. Double delta EM on the 1. Double delta EM on 1 YM SP500 79. Speed of YM 200 and double delta RTY on the 4. Double delta NQ on the 3. Double delta NQ on the 3. Enigma long on the EM1.
Okay, getting auto entered in here on an Enigma on the first play. I'm going to squeeze in my stop here. That is going to be a dangerous one. That is a set of straight legs right there, and it might have enough juice to pop that.
Double delta
right at the bottom of the zone here. There's a ready up. Hopefully that helps to pop us up, but we don't know. We could still strike down to first
Fib.EM on the
stop there.
Target filled.
Enigma said, I don't think so. We got a headshot.
Long on the EM1.
Oh boy, second Enigma adding to our position here.
134.
And we just went red on the McAfee Ultimate here, so I'm going to get to short here.
Double delta.
Complicated what's going on there, just to hold on a moment.
And leader of French socialists, Olivier Faure, says we will
So
vote
we just
against
went
the embargo
McAfee
in
red
case
there
of
a
no
second.
confidence
I
vote.
don't like that we switched back to neutral here. Let me see if I'm getting caught off sides here. Went too big on the short side. I need to half up here. Yikes, and have to take some loss off of that. A little bit of a tricky spot there. And we have the Titanic zone there. Wanted to get in on that. Did not want to get that big. That was a little bit crazy. Yeah, some kind of a super Enigma headshot there.
Fib.EM on the 1.
Now we went back to neutral here. If at pop screen, I will
111.
return my
Speed of
idea there to the long side on
111.
that Enigma. Oh boy, could be a split cross reversal right here. Yep, I'm going to reverse it. I'm going to get long here.
Enigma short on the EM2.
Feels trappish. And with a little split cross reverse. Turned into a 3 wise men, currently neutral. Watching that McAfee Ultimate. Nope, I'm gonna kill it. Okay. Got all borked up in that spot there. That was a tricky one. So big loss there on the first one. Reversing back and forth. Can't make a decision on that one. I'm gonna take 2 losses on that one.
103.
So at 9:45 a.m. Eastern
Double
Time,
delta
US
EM on the
S&P
1.
Manufacturing PMI final.
We'll come back and talk about that one in a moment.
Prior 48
Very tricky spot right there.
Range of 49 spot 2.
Enigma long on the
48 spot 6.
RTY4. Enigma long on the EM1.
All right, getting auto entered in right there,
Double
and
delta
going
NQ
to
on
add
the
in
right.
on that position. Stop underneath the Enigma. Right there at the P point.
Double delta NQ on the 3. Speed of YM 177. Speed of YM 117. Fib.EM on the 1.
I might be getting in just at the wrong spot there. Not enough to get 20 ticks out of it. And ouch. Ouch. Very tough.
Double delta NQ on the 3.
Very interesting. Big moves down here on the Dow. We are currently neutral, but it just pushed a lot on that down move.
Double delta NQ on the 3. Double delta RTY on the 4.
French PM Barnier says France must have a
There's
budget.
been a straight move down off of that. Here comes that
Double delta EAM on the 1.
blue line area from before.
Delta
We
EAM on
got
the 1.
double ready ups here.
Lower bands touch EAM.
I'll be
on
looking for the next
26.
play.
Lower bands touch EAM on the 89.
Wow, look at all those bars. All those on the 26, all the way down. Big sell off there, 937.
Double delta NQ.
All right, I'll
on
take
the
this
3.
as a reverse spot here on the ready up. Let's see if that's going to pop up here for me. No, it's still got some down move in it. Nope, not yet. Not ready. Haven't even gone strong sell yet, so one of the nerds is still holding up. I don't know which one it is.
87.
Is it NQ? Okay, now we touched.
Fib.EAM on the 1.
There's a crack of a red dot.
Enigma short on the NQ3.
If it's going to give me a bounce here or not.
Speed of NQ 62. Speed of YM 67. Double delta NQ on the 3. Lower bands touching.
Nope.
On the 20. Double
She's
delta
still
NQ
going.
on the 3.
All right, not playing.
Double delta EAM on the
Very crazy move here.
Says we
Look
make
at
some
that.
moment of
Wow, very crazy. ES is still MACV green, so ES is still holding up. Interesting.
Double delta EAM on the 2. Fib.EAM on the 1. Lower bands EAM on the 26. 73. Speed of YM on the 1.
At 9:45 a.m. Eastern Time, we get US S&P Manufacturing PMI. Forecast 49 on the prior, 48.8, with a range of 49.2 to 48.6.
Double delta EAM on the 2.
Yes. Central Scrutinizer, did I answer your question? Wow. Don't you love that when people post their questions and then they don't go back and watch it, but you know, I don't know. Anyhow, yeah, it's there. I'm sure. Well, I'll go. It was the holiday. I'm sure you were just on a holiday. Yeah, no big deal. You'll check out the last live stream on Monday. Answer that in depth.
Speed of YM 63 on the NQ3. Double delta NQ on the 3.
I have to
Yes, in last Monday's live stream,
push
yes.
through the Social Security bill without a vote.
Yeah, went over all those questions in the Mentorship Monday last week. This is very interesting. Big down move on the Dow, but never touched strong sell.
on the 1. Enigma long on the EM.
Very interesting.
on the 1.
All right, we'll give this one a shot here. $18 level Enigma
Bands touching on the 26.
with some juice.
Q55. Enigma short on the Q55.
Sibania says all actors must now live up to their responsibilities, and I will live up to mine.
Speed of NQ77.
Nope, I'm gonna kill it.
Double delta EM on the 1.
So French left-wing
I'm just
leader
looking up here at this
Mathilde
89. It's the
says we will
first
lodge a
89 bar
motion
down.
against
It
the government.
was it's not quite an ignition bar because it's not the third bar in a series, but they literally just sold that all the way down. We're still up here at the high. There's still more space
Speed of
down below.
NQ51.
And while it feels like it's overdone, very odd shape there on the fours. The fours literally did not give. There's no additional order flow scenario that came in right here at all. Very interesting. So this could have another 100 tick drop in it. Have to be aware of that. News is coming out here in about 30 seconds.
Ten seconds.
Speed of NQ80.
49.7, 49.7, higher than forecast, 49.
Enigma short on the EM1.
Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and get short here. Don't like that we went back to moderate buy here, but feels like there's some extra down move still left in it. Back to neutral. Don't like that it's stair-stepping up, so not overly enthused by it. Nope, it's not reacting to that Enigma. I'm just gonna have to kill it. It is
Speed of
it's just sticking. I do
NQ83.
not like that movement at all. Stair stepping up there. We could start to just continue to stair step up here. We touched the buy side briefly. Man,
Noting the Dixie.
tough morning on that.
0.76%.
Double delta NQ on the 3.
At 106.578.
Wish I would have just rode this one. That down move off of that down move on the Enigma. 44 tick dropout on that one. This one back up. It's 25.
Speed of YM78. Speed of NQ59. Double delta EM on the 1.
Okay, we are clustering on the 3s on NQ. I didn't hear anybody else call that out, but we are clustering on the 3s on NQ. So I'm anticipating a grinder. I'm just going to get on the side of the MACV Ultimate now that it's kind of tipped its hand there. And whatever the MACV Ultimate is, just going to ride that direction. Going to be a grinder, some of the nasty stuff. Currently neutral. As soon as it shows me a
on the 1.
red or green, I will find an entry location. Showing us a grinder. Yep, there's even some more. Continuing to cluster up on the Alpha Omegas. So all that clustering, get ready for the grind. Hate these kind of days.
Speed of NQ73.
I do like it when it shows up earlier though. Tell me early. Like to hear it.
Enigma short on the EM1.
And there's a short 23.
Fib.EM on the
Like that
1.
we're still sitting neutral.
Speed of NQ55.
At 10 a.m. Eastern Time,
DCDM
we get
NQ on
USSM data
NQ55.
manufacturing PMI forecast 47.6 on the prior 46.5, with a range of 49.4 to 46.3. ISM manufacturing prices paid forecast 56 on the prior 54.8, employment index prior 44.4, new orders index prior 47.1. We also get US construction spending month on month forecast 0.2% on the prior 0.1%.
Divergence of EM on the 8. Double delta EM on the 1.
How are we still neutral? Where is the Dow just in a dive bomb? Is it the crude? Is it the crude thing or what? The crude oil?
Speed of YM65. Speed of NQ66.
This is where I wish I had my 20 chart layout right now so I could see the other instruments. Okay, there we go. All right, so now we just went red. First side, again, with the grinder. I'm basically just going to try to continue to ride in that direction. Anytime I'm trying to look for traps on a grinder day, they just don't work. So what I have learned from those over time is when the market has tipped its hand on any one of our nerds,
56.
showing me
Delta EM on the 1.
the showing me the clustering. Historically, if you were to have ridden the direction, you have to be careful. You can't just stay on side on. You can't just like, oh, okay, it's all short. Wow, what is this? What is this doing? Are we really this split? All right. No, we thought we were red. We are no longer red. So I got a finger over the close here. Hotkeys on. Love to see that target 3 on this J hook hit. But if we do end up trapping and turning and that goes green, we could ride this up just as hard in a slow grind. Is that literally... Curtis, are you resetting the MACV Ultimate or something? All right,
Double delta
kill it right there.
4.
Man, it literally... Did you see that jump up? Come on, man.
Double delta.
Did it get me exited at the worst place? Yes. Oh my word. So I tried to maximize it and exit in that 13.6 and it bounced me. How many ticks up? Literally 8-10 ticks on me? Are you kidding me?
DCDM on the 1.
All right, potential split cross reversal there. There's an Enigma short. I'll go ahead and get in on the Enigma short. Again, assuming this is, I don't think this is accurate. I don't know what's going on there. Are they really switching hands that much right there?
Set to close at the widest since 2019.
Fib.em on the 1.
Okay, it's jumping back and forth. Okay, interesting. Last thing we saw was red side, and the Dow has been tipping over. So I'm gonna assume so, but I'm looking at NASDAQ. NASDAQ is looking like it's
at 10 a.m. Eastern
straight
time.
up over there.
US ISM data, manufacturing PMI forecast 47.6 on the prior 46.5 with a range of 49.4 to 46.3.
Yeah, we got news coming out again in 5 minutes.
Prior 54.
Double delta EM on the 2.
Employment index prior 44.4. New orders index prior 47.1. And we also get US construction spending month on month forecast 0.2% on the prior 0.1%.
I do not like that that is still sitting there neutral. We don't have a red or green direction here on a grinder. This is a new one. Okay, I do see NASDAQ turning back down.
Double delta EM on the 1. High impact news event is a manufacturing PMI. Medium impact news event is a manufacturing prices. Low impact news event construction spending month over month. J hook short NQ on the 3. Double delta EM on the 2.
There we go. All right, we're red side finally. Okay, just got a 30 tick drop on that NQ, closing out the NQ. I'm hoping this one will continue through.
Speed of NQ 54. Speed of NQ 54. Double delta NQ on the 3.
I wish I would have held that a little bit farther. We just got another drop out there on NQ.
And France's far-right party rally will vote against PM Barnier in the no confidence vote. So 1
Speed
minute
of NQ
remaining.
62.
I'll leave with US ISM manufacturing PMI.
Okay, back to neutral. Don't like that news coming out in 30 seconds. All right, I'm going to kill this. 30 seconds till the news. Ten seconds.
10 seconds.
Just watching wherever this goes. This is a very interesting day here. This is neutral, 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 neutral. Go red briefly.
48.
Come back to neutral.
Double delta EM on the 2.
And the market has tipped its hand. We've got
Fib.EM on the
clustering. So whatever this side ends up showing, I'm going to ride it.
New orders 50 spot 4, 50 spot 4. Employment index 48 spot 1, 48 spot 1. And construction spending 0 spot 4%, 0 spot 4%. Higher than forecast 0 spot 2%.
Double delta NQ on the 3.
Seeing some slight downside in the dollar.
Double delta RTY on the 4. DCDMEM on the 2.
Okay, gonna let the news shake out here for a second. It's going a little bit nuts here. Again, more clustering on NQ. Okay, clustering, clustering, clustering. So again, I'm not letting this fake me out at all. I'm not looking for traps today. I'm going to get on sides with the MACV Ultimate when it tips the hand, gives us a color direction. I'll take entries and hold them. Not looking for
Fib.EM on the 1.
trap turns like I normally would on a day where they have tipped the hand of the clustering now. We've seen that. Still neutral. Interesting. So 2 nerds up, 2 nerds down.
Speed of NQ 68. Speed of NQ
HMD
68.
short right there. Still neutral. Wish that would have turned red here, but just waiting. Yeah, I don't care if it's red or green. I'll be riding the direction of the MACV Ultimate as soon as we get a color.
Speed of NQ56.
Okay, finally red side. Now just need an entry. Looking over for NQ since the Dow has already moved through a straight leg with nothing to enter on. Prior low.
Speed dot NQ61.
Red dot structure.
Double delta NQ on the 3.
Terrible entry.
The US dollar now extending gains versus the yen, now back above 150 yen, up 0.2%.
Double delta EM on the 1. Double delta NQ on the 3. Speed of NQ52. Double delta NQ on the 3.
Still neutral, waiting for a red to be able to get pushy.
Double delta NQ on the 3.
All right.
Fib dot EM on the
Okay,
1.
coming back, double dot. I'll add to position. I'll go to a full position on a double dot, see if we're going to get that drop or not. Or is this going to be the central pivot? It is 10:06.
Speed of NQ69.
So US 10-year Treasury yields rising after ISM manufacturing data, as well as 2-year Treasury yields.
All right, I'm going to kill that there. We're still sitting at neutral. I need a color first before I can really get excited about that. Maybe I get a better entry, which is even better. We can see these shift. Fantastic. Don't forget, these could do they could just flip a turn. Split cross reversal, back of the shark back. Let's see. No, we're buy side.
DCDM
hold
on the 1.
So could be looking for a long here. Looks like a double cross, double move potential here. So I'll go ahead and take that. Again, I'm basically just going to always, whatever this color is, I'm writing it on a cluster day. Currently green. Double cross, double move. Target up there at 44,887 for the target on a DCDM. I'll add in on the cross here, trying to maximize scenario here. Have been heavy red this morning, getting offsides on that first moves. First set of moves there this morning was a tricky open for me. Yikes, went back to neutral. We'll cut half if we break underneath those crosses.
DCDMEM on the 1.
Yikes, a lot of crosses coming up in this area.
Double Delta EM on the 1.
So the risk premium on French 10-year debt over German is set for the biggest.
I'm halfing up here. We're basically at the bottom of that double cross here. So stopping out on the double cross, double move situation there.
7 basis points.
Yield half, currently neutral, watching for the color. It's basically staring right here. This has been insane in the neutral. Even though we've had this giant drop on the Dow, it's been a tricky read. Nope. All right, I'll kill it. So no DCDM there on that. And neutral. So still don't have a read yet. These are the tricky days. When you see that clustering, it's the other, I don't want to say everything else is out the window, but I have seen on these, it is, again, look at it. It is a nasty set of clustering. This is not normal. When you see this, it is going to be a grinder day. I have just seen it so many times.
Speed of NQ65.
You don't normally see all of this build up on a lower time frame, and when you do, it has been these days where all of a sudden it turns into a grind, and it will go in a direction and go and go and go and go, and then it can turn back the other way and then go and go and go and go. But what you know is that the bigger time frames are coming into play, and that you're going to get some big numbers. No, Curtis, will you help him? He probably doesn't have Enigma installed. Mike Thompson, you're saying that you don't have any Enigmas, or you're saying that they don't match? You're saying, from what I read, you said you don't have any, correct? So if you don't have any, then you need to add Enigma to your charts. And if you went through the install process, if you did not select Enigma, you need to run the installer again and select the second or the third option during the installation. Okay, a re-entry would be here. I'm going to do a buy stop, market. Currently buy side.
DCDM NQ on the 3. Double delta EM on the 2. Two finger EM on the 26.
So Francis Le Pen says our demands on the budget were not met.
Fib.EM on the 1. Double delta EM on the 1.
Okay, got an HMD. Give this one a shot here. Let's see if this ends up faking down.
On the 1.
Headshot at the bottom. Currently moderate buy. Love to see that call the bottom there. Stop out below the shark.
And Le Pen says PM Barnier chose not to answer to our voters.
DCDM EM on the 1.
So Le Pen just confirming we will lodge a no confidence motion against Barnier and will vote to oust him.
Hey, thanks, Dork. Appreciate that. Retries up there at the white lines. Let's see if this red section breaks. Listening for audio box.
Enigma short on the 1.
Don't like that. Okay, 25 respected would have to be here for 44 832s. With the down move, finger of the close if this ends up shifting.
So Israel's military says Hezbollah launched 2 missiles towards the area of Hardov, causing no casualties.
I'll be able to talk through more of this later. This has been a very tricky, fast morning here. I'll walk through the thoughts on these more so, and really has to do with it's a clustering day.
And France's far-right leader Le Pen says no matter who tables the no-confidence vote against Barnier, we will vote for them all.
Alright, don't like that we just shifted back to neutral. Down to the last shot. If we make that run up, target up here at the original DCDM. Or if we end up with that thing shifts red, I'm out and I am looking for the down move. If that is a double move out of this area, we got a long way down, all the way to 44,700s potentially, if we don't take that pop-up move right now. Nope, I'm gonna kill it. Back into neutral. So we did not stay on the green side so that we could try to do some little marching up move there on a cluster day. Again, these are the, in my opinion, for me, these are the most difficult days when this is shown. This right here, it's still there. Look at all of this clustering. This is not normal. When you see this, we have higher time frames in play, what I have been able to determine. And those days turn into these grinders where they just go and go and go in a direction, and then if they shift and turn, oftentimes it's a midday shift point, and then go and go and go and go. But you can't time it. Can't be like, oh, it happens in the middle of the day. No, you just wait. When you see it shift here, when the nerd turns, I just ride in the direction with a nerd.
Speed of NQ51.
According to 3 sources familiar with Hezbollah's thinking, Hezbollah does not for now intend to send fighters to northern Syria to support Assad.
Double delta NQ on the 3. Enigma short on the NQ3.
Still neutral. My eyes are literally just fixed right here. Whenever this gives me a direction, I will look for a play in that direction. There we go, buy side. Okay. Looking for an entry. Dow is clearly the lagger. If all three of the other nerds are long and the Dow still continues to look like they are. Yeah, they're collecting contracts, exactly. Yeah, a lot of collecting here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there's going to be a big move coming out of this area. 13 if you count that one. Right there, the first line was here. Okay, that's a PRZ cross long. I'll go ahead and start to take that one right there. With moderate buy. I mean, that's, if that holds, that is all on the bottom if I ever seen one.
France's 10-year yield premium widens 8 basis points, the most since June.
King timing in about 3 bars. There's the king. I'll add on the king timing. See if she's gonna go. The nerd is moderate buy, so 3 out of 4 are up, is what that means.
Divergence up.
Dow has collected a ton down here. It is the feeling, I think, is short. So if they're going to catch them off sides, this would be a great way to do it. If we get a piercer here on the first one, there's a cross. I don't like that it stopped. I jumped the gun and pressed as though that was a piercer. It technically did not pierce. Is it going to bork me again? Might still be early on that. Still staying moderate buy. Just want to watch for that. If it goes neutral, got to kill it. I tried to add right there because it looked like a pierce. It did not. It's a PRZ cross short. Could have got a better entry on the retouch. Careful jumping the guns.
DCDMEM on the 1.
So Hezbollah confirms that it conducted a defensive strike on Israeli military post after the ceasefire violation.
There's a lot of news going on. Keep hearing him talk a lot about kind of some more news stuff. We have to be very careful.
Fib.em on the 1.
See if that pierces. I'm hearing buyers with some Rice Krispie action.
Fib.em on the 1.
Boo. Thought that one was going to break too. Every short side item has been respected. Looked for that pierce a moment ago.
Delta
It
EM on the
pushed
1.
down on the first red structure, and now on the pink structure also pushed down. Did not get a break of the short side structures. All of them are being respected. That is a bit nerve-wracking when you got YM looking like it has just leaned over continuously. I am doing exactly the opposite of what it feels like, due to the identification of the clustering that we've seen on NQ. NQ tipped the hand and showed clustering all over the threes. Which gives me the indication of the grinder, as you guys have seen in my trainings, that that's how I've had to play it. Hard to walk and chew bubblegum at the same time over here today for me. Talking and dealing through the deeper red here today.
Fib.em on the 8th. Two-finger EM on the 26.
Finally, strong buy. All the nerds to the long side now.
DCDMRTY on the 4.
All right, back to break even there on the day now for me here. Hit that target eventually. Now, again, now is that grinder day. I'm just going to hold to the opposing signal. And if all those guys are trapped back there, this could make a run. At the same time, I feel like this is the weakest of the nerds right now for if you're talking about long being strong and short being weak. This is the weakest of all of them. So if we're going to get short, I want to be short on the Dow today. Remember that the Dow has a major crude component. So if oil isn't being impacted with all the missiles flying that you're hearing, can't be too surprised by that, right?
Double delta EM on the
All right, there's a double delta, and I'll close it up right there. $765 out of, I don't know, pretty deep drawdown there this morning. Let me go look at my stats. As deep as 11,000. So we made $11,000 out of that area. That was very, very tricky. Let's walk through what happened. So from the open, it's probably easier to see on a slightly higher time frame here. Let's go up here, top left. So this has been a straight down move from the open. Very interesting. So there's your 930 open right here. Nothing super signaling that here, not on the Dow. Again, Dow might have been the hardest one to have played here today. Might have just been unlucky of the draw, if you will. Can say luck of the draw. This is unlucky of the draw that I was looking at the Dow. Dow being probably the heaviest component of all four of the nerds today. Let's go look at the plays. Let's go page up. Back through, back up all the way to, let's go to 930. Okay, so lower time frame. Let's just pull it down here because I don't really think I need to show anything on the fours there because there's basically nothing there. Just wanted to show the big down move. Let's look at the measurement on that. So from the peak to the low, that was a 316 tick dropout. Which really, it's not that much. That's not huge. But when you are trading on the lower time frames and looking to grab bags, that's a significant, you're not going to be holding out 300 tick stop. Anyhow, let's pull down here to the bottom left. So your 930, I did accurately identify that we had the Titanic zone, and I said, you heard me say it, go back and roll back the tape. You're like, okay, this could be the major reversal here. Well, regardless of the fact that I had laid this out, I did not play it well, and it happened to be because of this one right here. We had this show up. So I'm getting long. It starts to push down, and I'm like, no, I think this one's got that extra juice. Remember Titanic zone? I end up flipping right here. So end up having like two losers right in a row off of this one right here because I second guessed it. When we got this one, I believe I tried to play it up. Yeah, in fact, Control E. Let's just draw them in there. Yeah, so enter. No, I did not add to that position.
On the 2.
Must have been right here where I flipped it. Yeah, tried to get short here afterwards because I'm like, okay, we headed up. It literally missed the target by a tick. That was just, I mean, sometimes it happens. Literally missed the target by a tick. So anyway, ends up pulling down. So tried to get short in there. Second guessed myself as we started to ride the bottom of this channel. I wonder if I had like not drawn that channel, if I had thought, well, maybe it won't, because I thought, okay, well, maybe it could come do one of these numbers there. Anyway, overthinking it through, this thing ends up dropping out like a boss. I end up closing out right here for the loss. So taking the first set of losses right here. Then get long one more time, thinking this a big straight leg down. Oftentimes straight legs, you can't trust them. There should be, plenty of space to get 20 ticks. Misses Enigma shows up, missed the target
CDME
again
model.
by, this
Speed
time a
up
couple of ticks, doesn't
NQ65.
get to its target.
Speed up
And then they march it down,
NQ65.
stop out. Tough one. This one, for some reason, I doubt the short side Enigma because we had a double ready up. When you see a double ready up, oftentimes these signal another style of reversal. Thought, hey, maybe this is a spot there where we could get that. It's 5 minutes past the open at this point, and it looks to me like it's a double ready up. We get the Enigma. I have seen these where these, fail and kind of wraps around the Enigma, actually kind of like this one up here, where it's like price just almost like it goes and then just wraps around the Enigma. I don't know. I was visualizing that, again, overthinking through the plays rather than just reading what was in front of me. I also don't think the MACV Ultimate, the reason I didn't believe it was because the MACV Ultimate was still either neutral or green. Hard read right here. And we had not, remember, it had not identified a grinder yet. The grinder was developing for the AO clustering. So did not have the opportunity to have seen that, even if we wanted to, at that point. That market ends up continuing to grind down. We give it a shot again here on this one. I kind of botched this one because it did make a big run up, but I end up closing it out for basically a nothing burger. So this one's neutral. So I take losses all the way down on this. Oh, another thing, when I went to reverse and get short up here, I was too heavy. And I don't even know how it ended up getting. It was like at 28 contracts. I really only wanted to be around like 14 to 16 in the opposite direction. So mentally, this was a tough spot when that occurred to begin with. This one ends up being the one that would start to push it down, but it comes back here and it gets right to the back of the Enigma, and then boom, it finally gets its dropout as we come into the shark, and there is a significant dropout there from both of those Enigmas, and I did get those. We started winning as we started to pop in on the 23.2. I can see, I don't know at that point that we had actually gone red yet on the MACV Ultimate, but with all that drop out there, went ahead, got in. It's a nice 23, get short, added to position, get short, closed out. Nice play there for the first one. I'm trying to think of why I exited. Oh, we had the cross and the ready up. I went back in short again here for the continuation at that point. Oops, I hit the button there. Let me go back. Oh yeah, this is the one where I got slipped. So I see the 13.6 to really kind of maximize, really got a good set of plays, should have been, and then it literally, I react, and by the time I react, this thing, it was crazy. I remember measuring it before. It's like 11 ticks. Yeah, there it is. The 11 tick pop up, like
on the
literally ate 11 ticks of my win. In fact, it ate all of this. So I had added right here, and the exit was at the same spot. So I got nothing out of that add. Really sucked. Just, yeah, bad luck on that. Pops up on me. Get short again. Get short again. Nice. Really trying to hold it out. And this ends up being a turn, and so don't get much out of that one either. Very tough there. On those. Get short. Close. Let me do there. Is this where the MACV went green for a moment? Yeah, I think it was. So MACV goes green here. Look for the double cross, double move. We end up starting to get lots and lots of clustering. Didn't make anything on the first play of that, but started to identify that this was an area of major interest. Got long on this one. Was a nice play to the upside there on that one. That is a power dot
touch him on the 26
inside of a ready up plus a shark. A lot of juicy confluence right there. Got long on that one. Held it. Looks like I closed out partial or all. Did I close the whole thing when it came back down? I think so. So this gave me the confidence that, okay, we are having that shift point here. We already know at some point in there we had identified the grinder from NQ, NQ was showing that, okay, whatever direction, grab that side and run with it, right? Once you see this, all this clustering, for me, all I got to do is just pick the side of the MACV Ultimate, take an entry, and ride those positions. Even though this felt like it was short, as soon as we saw the nerd going, nope, don't think so. Dow, kind of a blessing and a curse that I was riding with the Dow, in that since it was the lagger today on, or would have been the leader on the short side, lagging on the long side, had plenty of time for the nerd to identify the long side, and then I was able to really capitalize on the lowest pivot point entry on that Dow. End up getting in on a PRZ cross for the perfect entry to the long side. It was also kind of correlating with a one tick wonder there. If you've gone through my training and you know about the one tick wonder. So we tip one tick below scenario, trap in, you see the cross, you see people punching the buttons at that spot. Boom, we start to rock up. Boom, we rock up. Boom, we rock up. And then boom, the big play to the upside. Full exit on a double ready up, as we saw before. Like I have seen, you know, we get pivots on those double ready ups. That is a entry point for me sometimes. I'll take a double ready up reversal. In this case, if it was straight up, goes into a double ready up. Yep, we end up pushing down. So that down move off of the double ready up ends up pushing down 27 ticks. So again, significant. Great exit there. So why I pulled right here, this was the original DCDM location for the targeting on that DCDM. So pulled half my position there and then closed out the rest as we went into the double ready up there. And we are still getting more and more upside here. Again, no surprise. Why? Because of the type of day. It's a grinder. That accumulation zone is prior low of day. It was. That's true. Prior low could have also helped out with that. Somewhere in there, we also, I think we crossed the P point somewhere. Yeah, and this was a spot where I thought, okay, well, this is part of what I had thought before was we might get a bounce on that. It barely bounced. It went like 18 ticks instead of 20, and got robbed on that original Enigma right there. So very interesting plays there this morning. The harmonic on the 89 gave also the hope on that. So that is true. Again, I don't, remember, be careful of just structures, right? A only structure, for me, it's generally not enough. But yeah, you had the 50 cent harmonic structure came in there on 89. So it gives you a, 1 bar bounce up there. That's 89 ticks. So while that doesn't seem significant, 89 ticks, that's a lot of ticks. Yeah, so played through on that, and yeah, just basically happy to have come away in positive there on that morning there. It was a crazy dump out. And you can kind of see it on this chart as well. Look at that. It was a very crazy dump out. There were plenty of opportunities to have gotten in short on that. When I'm looking back, I really want to kind of beat myself up a little bit here. Let me go watch this one more time on this section. So we had the Titanic shift that told us, yes, we had 2 Enigmas. But then when the first one showed up, red, I got to train myself on this. So you have 1, 2.
Fib.em on the 1.
Those be tricky, and then boom, we get the next red. What was hard on this one was there was such straight legs. It was straight leg, straight leg, straight leg, straight leg. Felt like to me like, I mean, there's a 4-legged dog trap opportunity right there. Sometimes those will trap fake and do one of these. Not today though. Yeah, that was would have been a good place to have held that out. 44 ticks, the downside still on that play there. So could have gotten short. That's probably the best place I would have gotten short. Could have potentially around the Titanic zone. Had the up moves in there. We're coming right into the open. I was too busy kind of talking around. I remember when I saw this ready up play up here, I kind of wanted to get short on that one, but I was talking too much. So would have liked to have given that a shot. But woulda, shoulda, couldas. I would have liked to play that short there because that Titanic zone. Fake up. Looks like we get the dropout. We're doing there 1, 2, 3, 4. Four-legged dog trap with a ready up. That was the best short entry right there for the morning. Okay, red headshot on a GLR. So gold line reversal along with a headshot. Beautiful play right there. All right, so that was a green on the last one.
Upper bands touch him on the 26.
So this is kind of how this day looked from a trade perspective. So it was red, 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 and then we had a couple of greens there at the end. Okay, so same thing. Still looking for grinder entries. Whatever this color side is, I'm just taking trades in the direction of whatever this says. If it's neutral, try to stay out of it. But we just want to get on sides. The absolute best from a historical standpoint is when you get the first color shift. So right now we are green. In the first color shift red, I'm going to jump in on that. Okay, that could be the ultimate short location if this goes red. Now, if we stay green this entire time and we keep running, it will probably be all the way to noon. So around noon, between noon and 1:30-ish, it's usually like 11:30 to 1:30 can be the biggest turning points of the day when these type of days occur, and then they will just continue in that direction, just riding with the grinder. I hope I'm explaining that well enough that it makes sense to you guys.
Speed of NQ76.
You guys can watch me, play it out. There, that is how I will take the plays. There is simply going, speed okay, what is what's that color? I really want to catch one on the shift. Like, we've been green, green, green. If this goes red, dude, I'm on it. I am on it. Because that's like catching a bottom. I do love catching me a bottom. I absolutely do. Half an 89 is a WWCD. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're getting 40, 50 ticks out of that. Thanks, Knowledge Hub. Appreciate that. One trader who can get out of a 10K red day. It's the tools. Without the tools, you forget it. It just helps to be able to read. Like, would I have been able to do what I did there had I not seen the clustering? I would say no. Like, if I did not know about the clustering in our system, the only one out there that does this, could I have been as confident in writing that like that? Probably not. Okay, thanks, Dork. So you understand it? You got it? Does everybody understand? Give me a 1 and a 2. So if you get it, type a 1. If you don't understand it, type a 2. If you'd like me to explain that a little bit farther on the clustering and then following the MACV coloring. As simple as that, but you try to over explain probably about the why. Maybe that causes more confusion. I don't know. It makes sense to me. Hopefully I've made it clear enough to you.
Speed.
And I'll also say it's hard. It is hard because this is why it's always kind of been hard on those types of days. I have found like psychologically it is going against every fiber of your being. Kind of what you think, oh, what did I just do to my area there? Weird. Did I do that? Yeah, it goes against, you know, you're like, oh, it's, well, leaned over this way. Okay, well, it's gone too far. And all the things that you think as a human, you're like, oh, it's overdone, or oh, it's got too much speed, or oh, it's slowing down, and no. Just
in short on the NQ3.
Different set of, it's like almost different physics. Physics stops functioning in the finance realm.
Fib.em on the 8th.
Awesome, David. At work trying to listen in. Yeah, now play back the tape later. Hopefully it'll make more sense to you. There are a couple of other days of live streams where we've had those, so I've talked through them a lot. I don't say a lot, but those days I try to iterate those to you. I do need to have some time to sit down and, you know, make some training videos for you guys. I'm sorry I have not gotten as many of the new training videos out to you guys. I had people commit to me saying that, oh, I'll make videos for you, Vinny. Oh, you got people that are like, oh, yeah, I got you. And backstab you and like, oh, well, no.
Double delta RTY on the 4.
Idiots and their egos. But yeah, so it's back on me. I just gotta find more time. But you know what? I'm gonna have more time soon. I have been shuffleboarding a lot of things, and a lot of that is off my plate.
On the 2.
All right, let's see. But yeah, we should do one particularly around the grinder using today. Okay, I'm ready to get short. All right, I'm gonna start getting short right now. Like, this is how confident I am in having seen this I don't know how many times, but I'm like, I see this first shift, there it is. This is the first shift right now. I wish I could like draw something on this where it would stay, but there it is. There is the first color shift. We have been green, 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 boom, red. First dipping of the hand that we might be going the other way. I'm gonna grab that first one. Now if this goes back up to green, that sucks. But when these go this way, oftentimes I will see it turn to, let's see if I got a spot where it was red, green, red, red, red. Okay, it'll end up looking like this up here. Okay, this is what we want to see. I want to see we've gone from this green here, went red, kind of went back to neutral once. I don't even want to see this. I hope not this. And it just stays on this side. And it goes bing, 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 and it's just red all the way down where it goes. Red coloring here, red, 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 and it just stays down there. Now, when this is happening, the market at that time is just doing this, right, on a grind. So that's what I'm wanting to do here. I'd prefer to be 10. Like, I'm not enough to write home about. I'm a size player. You're always like, oh, I saw Vinny down 10K. I'm like, bro, I just made 10K the day before that. I made 15K before that. I made, you know, like it's relative. Like these trolls, man. Mental issues. All right, let's get this thing back to bottom here. Yeah, there we go. All right, now let's see if we get that. I want to see red, red, red. You know the drill. I want to see this.
Crude oil in November.
Let's see if it does. I see NQ making a very big up move here, so let's see what's happening here. All right, I'm going to close it right there. NQ is making a very big up move there. We're sitting here on the 89. This could do a little, you know, another bar, do this kind of number right here.
Fib.em on the 1.
Sit here inside of a green and watch this to make sure it doesn't go neutral. Maybe if NQ starts on its march back down again, I'll re-engage, but that was decent play there from short side double cross, double move, double cross added here, exiting on green. Not a bad play. Can meet at 22.85. Maybe I'll be able to catch some juice on NQ. Let's find out. Yeah, if it had gone neutral, I would have closed it. Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. It goes neutral because, again, when these ride, what I want to see is just a continuous grind on one side. Yeah.
Fib.em on the 1.
All right. Without me, I couldn't even react. I'm over there looking at something else. So I would have liked to tap that. If it's going to give me another entry on it, I'll take it. See an NQ drop out again. But what we expect, just so you know, like, I expect that what these grinder days do, like, it'll get on a side and it won't even touch neutral. It'll just sit on that side. Red, 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 red. Strong 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 red, red. And it just sits over there and just goes and goes and goes and goes and goes. But it's a slow grind. And that's why I say grind, because it is slow. It is still, again, I do not like playing these days, folks. This is... It's like I'll live through these kind of days. Like, all right, live through this. And then, you know, I prefer scrap days, quick days, in out, grab bags, four-legged dog traps, playing the other direction, catching people off sides. This is just like this big heavy train just starts chuck, 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 chuck. Chuck, 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 and it just goes and goes and pain. And then all of a sudden it'll turn and then it'll chuck, 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 chuck. I have learned to deal with these types of days. I do not enjoy them in the slightest. Now, when do I want to get short? Between a strong sell and a moderate sell, I'll tell you, I want to get short on a moderate sell, right? Because the idea is I want to ride the play through as it goes from moderate sell to strong sell. I want that position, right? I want to ride. So where do I want to enter? I want to enter on
Fib.em on the 1.
this one. I want to enter on this one. I want to enter on this one. Make sense? So I'm looking for an entry right now, right? Like this one. I'll get short right here. No, I'll close it. Oh, breaking out the top of that. No good. No worries. I'll get a better entry. No problem. Plenty of time on a grinder. Okay, trying to add to my position on this cross. Tried to catch and ask, is it gonna fill me? Go.
DCDM on the 26.
Double cross. Go to. So, 10.
Double delta EM on the 1.
Hey, thanks, Douglas. It's a tough day. I mean, there's a lot to learn from it. Into ready up. At the first bar. Okay, Dr. Seuss.
Double delta NQ on the 3.
Ready up. Yikes. Okay, we are moderate buys, so I do pretty much have to kill this any second now. I'm gonna try to catch the big ups. Who knows? Maybe this is maybe that's a big fat trap back there. Yikes. All the way strong buy. They all turned at this spot here, so I might have just gotten caught on the trap. Is it early? It's 11:10. Send this to me at 11:10, bro. Rough.
Fib.em on the 1. Double delta EM on the 1. Double delta EM on the 2.
Wonder if I'm getting caught off sides here. That was a big shift. Went all the way from red straight up to green. Nah, I'm gonna kill it. Don't know what's happening there. Yeah, possible green rover. Yeah, I mean, well, you're saying from here back down, back the other way. Well, remember, on a green rover, you do not want it. Man, would you guys please pay attention? Come on, Pablo, I'm gonna call you out, bro. Come on, man, you've been around us a long time. You cannot call a green rover from a strong buy. I mean, I gotta make videos on this stuff, man. You know, I think y'all come out here and learn this stuff from me. And you're like, I mean, I know that you learned the green rover from live streams because I don't have a video on it. Okay, so then pay attention to what I say. In a green rover, it cannot go all the way to strong buy. A green rover has got to stop at a moderate buy and go back the other way. Same thing on the other side. A one touch, we've been on one side the entire time, and then comes up, touches here, and then goes back neutral. Right? No, you can't have a potential green rover from here. You got to have a green rover only from moderate, because otherwise it's too strong. It's too strong to have called that, because now we can go strong buy, and now we can oscillate back and forth between moderate and strong, and you don't want to get caught all sides on that. A green rover or a red rover will stop at a moderate right here or right here. Okay, I'm reiterating, saying this again with emphasis. Yeah, thanks for the reminder there, Greg. Yep, a Cyber Monday sale till tomorrow midday. You can use code ALGOBOX to get 90% off. You are one of those that likes to load up on your evals. 90% off using code ALGOBOX at Apex. Go check that out there. 90% off. They only do that like twice a year. And they run it for a very short window of time, so you're rolling with the Apex.
Fed bids for 3-month bills total.
Now would be the time to grab it.
$1 million, and Fed bids for 6-month bills total $776.1 million.
But yeah, I need to have time to. Yeah, I wish some of you guys would go make the video. Why don't you guys go make the videos? There's affiliate codes now. Literally, it's a 50% commission split. You guys go teach this stuff. Go make a video. Hey, do you know about the ALGOBOX Red Rover strategy? One of my favorites. Do. Walk through it. Talk through it. Do. Put it out there. I'll repost it everywhere for you. Put your code down in the link. You want 50% off ALGOBOX. Guys, I don't know why y'all can't, like, well, I don't know. Or maybe you guys are just making so much money with ALGOBOX, again, you don't need to sell it. I get it. That's the problem. That's why I went all the way 50% commissions. 50% commissions, because I just don't have the time. I don't have the time. I wish some other people would step up. Maybe you need to make a video on it so that it'll stick in your head. How do you know? How do you possibly think that that's a red rover or a green rover potential? Like, I literally, I'm so clear on it. Look, maybe you need to reteach it to someone else before it locks in your brain. I don't know. Help yourself out.
Enigma long on the EM2.
On the what? Oh, Yeem. Just noticed that comes out as Yeem on YM. Oh man, it's funny. So we got an Enigma long on the twos. I'm gonna try to just go pure balls out on it and go, I am following the rules in a pure state. We got an Enigma long. We are strong buy. So if this is the midday pivot scenario there is a moonshot long right here, and we are strong buy. So
Double delta EM
that
on the
is
2.
the signal to get long. So shifting mine. That's why I said this is it's hard on these days. Like, I would just, if you want to just sit out on grinder days, just sit out. You don't have to. Gonna let me get deep on it. Cool. $11.1 if we pop through it. Eight, 9 4s. Now, speaking of traps, that looks like a nasty trap right there. Double tap. So if it is, then we got a long way to run. And this is the first strong buy we've seen, I think. Oh no, we had one up here. 10:30. 40 minutes in between those touches. RMD bot long continuous went back to sleep. Up $1,800. Nice.
At 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time, the US sells $81 billion in 3-month bills, prior high yield 4.415%, and a prior bid to cover of 3.1. And the US sells $72 billion in 6-month bills, prior high yield 4.34%, and a prior bid to cover of 2.69.
All right. Moderate buy. This is where I would want to buy. So if this is going to stay on the side, this is the time to buy, right? Right here. We buy because we want it to go to, basically we want to go back to that, right? Want to go to strong sell. Now if we go neutral, gotta be careful. We can still hold it, but it hits red, boom, we're out. gonna keep coming back to my cross. I'm gonna keep adding into my position.
Double delta NQ on the 3.
Double delta NQ. Okay. That's a super alpha omega, so I'm gonna give this a half position shot here. Let's see. Here again, moderate buy. Just always on top here for the moment. All right, so super alpha omega. I like to do 10 on that. Let's see if they'll that trap there.
Treasuries pair declines, 10-year yield lower than 2-year.
The channel. Give me a Dr. Seuss. There you go.
Pip.em on the 1. Double delta NQ on the 3.
At 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time, the US sells $81 billion in 3-month bills, prior high yield 4.415% and a prior bid cover of 3.1. The US sells $72 billion in 6-month bills, prior high yield 4.34% and a prior bid cover of 2.69.
Double delta EM on the 1.
Okay. Yikes. So is that the end of the run? Let's find out here. NQ and Dow going opposite directions here on me. Gonna get together and party. There you go. Party, bro. Get that cross out of here. Come on. Not, no. Come on. Push through it. Don't turn right there. Go grab those ciphers, bro. Go grab those ciphers. Thank you. It's been a hard morning. I'm pressing flat and all. I got 4K on the day. That has just been what a grinding beating there today. So that was a rare use of the flatten all button. So flatten all, the difference between flatten all, people ask, why do you do a flatten all? You already got close up there. Flatten all literally will flatten all positions. So if you ever have two positions open, like in a scenario like that, I had two positions and I want to flatten because I see a P&L. I'm like, I want 4K. I saw 4100, close it out. Yeah, I got some slippage, so 3900 closing out on that session. Grabbing my 4K a day, keeping the JOB away. See if I can get that off of always on top so I can draw on it. Would be nice. All right, there we go. So yeah, popping that flatten all button ends up closing both positions at the same time. Everybody understand the difference between flatten all and close? If you do, type a 1. If you don't, type a 2. Go over it a little bit more there. Yeah, GG, exactly. Good game. Not my favorite type of day to play, right? But can you take a note? Okay, right here. See? We buy here. And then we go to here, right? We wanted to buy here to go to here. And just, you stay on that side on a grinder day. I am telling you what I have found. For me, this is how I play. You do what you want to do. But if you're trying to read through the tools, what do the tools tell you? When you see, and we want to start where this all began. It was actually in queue on the 3s. Going me. Look at all of this. Look at all, you see all this clustering? It's been like this pretty much all morning. You see this clustering on any of the nerds on a low time frame, making sure that you are 10 or above. Okay, make sure you follow all the rules. Go back and watch a video on it. 10 or above on the alpha omegas. Okay, I don't want to hear this whole, well, I had it on the 7s and it was pretty good. No, tuned appropriately. 10 or more, and you see all of this clustering, all of this. This is nonsense. This is not normal. When you see this, big time frames are in play, and you're going to get into this grinder situation, and it will just, plays will go and go and go in that direction. What I have found is, as a shift from one color to the other, tends to be the best play to get in, and then ride that side, and just stay on that side. Don't try to get tricky with it, even when you think, oh, there's a perfect whatever. Perfect flip reversal, enigma, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't matter. Write it out. And again, it's not going to necessarily be that it's going to show on all instruments. Hopefully this is clear.
DCDMNQ on the 3.
Is that like that clustering? Do you see it here on the NQ or on the Dow? No. Like, I don't see it on the Dow. You only need to see it on one of the nerds.
On the 1.
If it's showcasing it there, that's where it'll be. Okay. And yeah, now it's just and ride. Like you might think, oh, okay, now we're coming back down. Nope. Just keep riding it in that direction. The best plays, so and again, also if you want to avoid a place to add to a position. Now I've seen plenty of plays where sure, like you jump in when it's a strong buy and it zips, and it goes up. Okay, you can. But usually the second best place so this is the first place because we went from red to green. This is the first absolute best place to jump in a play, right? The second best is in theory right here, right? We pull back here, probably don't go to neutral, add here, okay? You could even, if it did go neutral for the first time, I will still add to that position on a grinder day. Okay, I will look for that position here as well. And then if it goes red, boom, then we're dead. We're done. Okay, because at that point, I actually want to shift that position. And again, the reason that these days are not that easy could be like, oh, well, if it's just going to grind in that direction, just keep going. It's not. I'm not saying it's going to go that direction all day. It will do some big, massive turn play like it did just here and flip back the other way and go and go and go and go. But one of these there will be some point in that day where it will just go and 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 go. And as you learn different types of the times of day, again, I would, in general, if you are a new person, you should not play these grinder days at all. As soon as you see this clustering, pack up.
20,000 barrels per day.
Pack your bags. Do not press the buttons. Okay. Now, if you want to practice, fine, practice. But just if you're a new person, stay away from these. As soon as you see someone announces in the chat, they say, "Hey, it's AOCs." Alpha Omega clustering on the whatever. Make sure they're legit. Okay, make sure they're, you know, double check them. Okay, make sure their settings are right, because I've had somebody do a call out in the room and it was like they had their Alpha Omega tuning set to like 6 or 7. Another person was like, "Oh, CAO clustering on the 7s," right? And they're like, 7s. Not only are they on 7s, they also have their Alpha Omegas tuned to like 6 or 7. And I was like, no, you can't just make that happen. It's not how it goes. Anyhow, hopefully you guys get it. I lived through a day like today. I'm not a fan. Yeah, not a fan of those at all. Thanks for hanging out with us. Don't forget, today is the last day. We are extending the Black Friday to Cyber Monday right now. If you got the Black Friday deal, congratulations on you. Told you it was never going to be that price again, and it wasn't. It's already gone up. So price continues to go up. Here, Christmas offer will not be as good as the one that's there today. So if you want to take advantage, today would be the last day to do so. There is a lease to own, which is also at a great price there on a lease to own. Or if you want to do the ownership there with the maintenance, you can do that as well. And that will include the full auto components as well. We'll be featuring a lot more of the full auto stuff. We will be doing, so you know how on Mondays we're talking, we will cater to the beginners. On Fridays, would this guy shut up? Thank you. The Mondays we cater to the beginners. Fridays we will cater to the advanced. I'm thinking about doing, kind of want to get y'all's feedback on this. As I was hanging out last night, thought, I had a fun name to it. Was it? Oh, Full Auto Friday. Full Auto Fridays, where we really focus on full auto, advanced level stuff on Fridays. Then Mondays, we kind of take a break from the brain busters. Well, you would say that on a Monday. Today was a very weird Monday. I think it's maybe coming after the holiday with the grinder day, one of the most difficult types of days to come in on after a holiday, particularly, and on a Monday. But Mentorship Mondays for the new folks and advanced folks on Fridays. So we kind of bookend the week with the beginner stuff at the beginning of the week and advanced stuff on Fridays. So we'll call it Full Auto Fridays, the FAF. All right. Tell your friends. Speaking of, do me a quick favor and click the share button, not the like button. Just click share. Let me show you how easy this is. Click on share and click post, and then just put a smiley face. Okay, and then just hit post. Okay, you don't have to say anything clever if you don't want to, but just show YouTube that you like this channel, share it, make a post about it, and that would be amazing. And smash that like button while you are at it. All right, thanks for hanging out. For me, Pippi, Robbie, Lunchbot, Mod Squad, Curtis, G, and Eddie B. I am sending out Big H-Town. See ya. Art team, show them how it's done.
The old adage where, you know, the individual investor doesn't have a chance because the institutional investor has better technology, better information, and, you know, more money and better opportunity, I don't think it's real anymore. I think the edge is on the individual investor because they're small, they're nimble, they can trade, they can use that, they have better front-end technology.
Don't waste your time. Leave the technical analysis to us.
Double
You just
delta
play the
NQ
game.
on the 3. Pip.em on the 8.
Forex is littered with crooks, black hat guys, all these kind of shifty characters and companies trying to extract money from your pocket and stick it into theirs. And one of the things that they do is operate these Forex signals.
Double delta NQ on the 3.
Delta 5 loading. Long, look for long. Harmonic pattern. Pick up. NASDAQ on freeze. Order filled. Target filled.
Pip.em on the 26. Delta NQ on the 3.
Audio Jungle.